Hello, scrappy friends. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. We are going to scrapbook today, and I have a pretty easy, keeping it simple recipe for us today. So I'm going to go ahead, turn my camera around, and we'll jump right in. We are using the Creative Memories 52 Scrapbooking Project Recipe Book, and we are going to work on page 80. It's this one right here. It's actually recipe 38. Don't worry if you don't have the book, you can jump over to my blog and print out a copy of the original project recipe. So all these are have been repeated from past project recipes. So it's pretty straightforward today. We have a simple border across the top. We're using 2 pieces for a background and then 3 pieces of paper to cut. And then we're going to create this section here where we'll put a very simple border. And then our photo placement is very easy. It looks like there's about 3.5 on each page. And that's where our special technique comes in today, because what they did here, they took a photo, and maybe who knows what really these 2 photos were if they were 2 separate, but I think the idea is to put one photo here and split it and put it half on each side. So I have not done this in a long time, so I'm kind of excited to do this today. It's kind of fun. It's hard to find a photo that's going to go right across, but it looks pretty neat in the book once it's finished and in your album. And then we have some very simple embellishing going on. And I am using the Elegant Moments paper collection. This is or was an advisor exclusive. So if you don't see this one on the website, you can ask your advisor. If you don't have an advisor, I'm pretty sure I have a few left of these on my website. You can go check that out. But it's a pretty collection, more for like the elegant time. And I'm going to be documenting photos from my 10-year high school reunion. So you can see here, this is the majority of the papers. And I'll be using the dark gray and the gold here for my backgrounds. And then for the papers that I'm cutting, I'll cut, let me flip this over so we can see. For paper number 1, which is just the 2 strips, I'll be using this striped paper here. The back side is one that I chose for my background. And then for the second piece, which will be a lot of the little squares that we saw on the layout, I'll be using this light gray piece and the back side. And then some of this will be used for photo mats as well. And then for my third piece of paper, I went ahead and picked a cardstock. I'm going to use black today. I think for my photos, it's going to help just bring out even more elegance in my photos along with the rest of the papers. Then I'm bringing in this bronze shimmer paper just for a little bit of sparkle on the page. I'm going to substitute out this little tiny cut we see right off to the side here. Okay, first piece tells us we need 3-inch strips. This will be the piece at the top and at the bottom. So I do want my stripes to be going vertical once they're on the page. So I need to turn it before I cut it. I'll just cut 2 of these at 3 inches each. And that's all we need from this one. We can save this for a future layout. And so I'm going to trim down 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 inches wide. And I'm going to layer them up together because I will need to cut 10 of them. And then we should end up with these 2 pieces here, which should measure 1 3/4 inches wide by 3 1/4 inches long. So let's hope. Yep, it looks right. These are just for banners anyway. We'll see later. So I don't think it would matter if they were a little bit off. Okay, the rest of this is going to be used for some photo mats, except for that last little strip that I was talking about. I'm going to bring in the bronze shimmer instead. So we need to cut this at 4 inches. And we basically need 2 of those. Here's the 1/2-inch strip I have left. Okay, so these are going to be 4 by 6. And we really only need 3 of them. 1 is extra for a future layout. And 2 are going to be turned reverse side. Onto our third paper. This is what I love about the project recipes. They come together so quickly. And on this one, we are going to punch out, we're going to first punch out our whatever punch we decided. Like I said, I'm going to bring in a border making cartridge. I'm going to use the Brocade chain. There we go. Looks like that. Haven't used this one in a while. I think it's pretty elegant, so I thought it would be perfect for these photos. I need 2 of these, one for each side. Then we can continue with our black piece. Part of it's going to be used for some more photo mats, and then the bottom section is going to be used for to punch out with our custom cutting system. Get some circles, not punch, but cut. And so let's see here. We can do this one at 3 3/4, and we'll do 2 of those basically, and it should yield us a pretty good size left over. And then we're going to turn these and cut them at 4 1/4. You could double stack them if you're comfortable with that. Our trimmer could handle that double cut, even the cardstock, but you can always also do them individually if you prefer. Okay, we're going to use these pieces with our custom cutting system, and these will be photo mats. We're going to use each of our color blades today, so that's kind of fun. And we are going to do 2 red, 2 green, and then 5 with the blue. So red is the biggest. We're going to cut the inside track only. Okay, so there's our circles. Let's put those aside because that's going to come back in when we do a little bit of embellishing. Okay, let's get those 1/4 inch pieces trimmed off now before we start assembling. So I'm bringing in the bronze paper instead of the little strips right here. And it's all because the paper I chose, I thought this is going to give it a little bit more of a pop, and the paper I chose was the gray, and I feel like there's a lot of gray going on the layout already, so I wanted to bring this in. Okay, so I'm doing 2 1/4 inch strips, 1/4 inches right to the edge of your gray cutting mat. Now we're ready to assemble. So we have our strips, which we're going to be, we said one's going to go at the top of the left-hand page, and the other is going to come down here at the bottom of the right-hand page. And then we have our thin strips that we just cut. We're going to put this 1 1/4 inch strip right on top of our 3 inch strip, cover up those seams. I love doing that. 1/4 inch paper is a great way to do that. You can also bring in some border stickers if you had it. Let's look at my photos. Here we have a couple big photos. It's going to go something like this. Then each side will have 2 smaller photos. So we're going to go something like that. And then I have these from those proofs that you get when you have professional pictures taken, but I liked it. I'm going to keep it probably just like that and count that as one of my small photos up there. And then for the center photo, like we talked about earlier, that's the one we're going to cut in half. So I hope this works because I'm going to try and cut this friends group right in half. Hope that I can do that without cutting off somebody. So that's going to be our photo layout. Then our little squares to create our border. And the idea is to alternate them. So we'll turn some of them upside down. Just line them up down here at the bottom. So we'll have one up and then the next one down. And we're going to just alternate that all the way across here. They should all be the same size, and we should get 5 of those across. And then we just want to space it out so you like how it looks. And so I have about the same margin on both sides. And then the same thing at the top. Start with the other pattern if we want to. Okay. And I'm going to spread that out. Yeah, I like it. I wasn't too sure. I thought maybe I'm going to come back in and punch out some of the orange, but the gold, but I like it. It looks nice. And let's bring in our border punch, our brocade chain, and it's going to lay right on top of here. And this is how you can change up the layout so easily. If you see the inspiration, it's a fall layout. It's a fall layout, and they just put the leaf punch there, and that looks really nice too. So the falling leaves, and it's so quick and easy. We can do this one all day long, and just keep changing it up. And then this one will come up here. I'll straighten all those out and get those a little bit nicer, but that's the general idea. Pretty simple. I like it. Okay, now let's continue with our photo placement. I think they did the smaller photos on this paper from what my paper would be number 3, and they kind of overlapped them like that. It's kind of fun. And then up here on this one, they brought in, you could either use the gray or the opposite side. In my case, it's gray also. I kind of like that one, actually. And do the same thing on the other side, and then bring in your mats up here. And then let's see, this one might be a little dark, but this one's a little smaller, so maybe I'll come back in with a little piece of white. I like this one best of all. There we go. It looks a little bit more like it's meant to be on there. There we go. I like it. Let's cut it. Let's cut that one. Get that part done, because that's going to be the scariest part of today's layout. This is the special feature, right? So I normally, like, you would want to split it right in half, but I can see already that if you split the people in half, I'm more worried about the people in half than having both sides being 3 inches. I think they're spaced evenly apart, that I could get that just perfect. And it's probably okay if it's somebody's ear. Nice. Okay, so now the idea is it's going to come over here like that. I'm going to trim this one first, and it's going to be butt up right next to the edge of the paper, so I can cut the mat right at the edge of the photo. So something like that, and it's going to go like this. And now this one, I could still trim my photo on one side, which is what I want to do. And this one will come all the way to the inseam also, and there we go. Kind of a cute technique. Who does this? Has anyone done this where you split your photo across? When it's together in the album, it's not gonna have that big gap. It'll have a little bit of a gap with the jeeping and stuff, but for the most part, this is what we have. These photos will line up. Let's see. I have this right at the 4-inch mark coming down. I like the placement of that, and I'm just going to kind of put these on top of each other. And the only other thing is, technically, it's supposed to be the reverse side, and I do want to make it different than the other mats. So we'll try that. I like that better. There we go. It just gives it a little bit more pop. Let's bring in our little banners and give these a little bit of a trim. I'm just going to do it by hand. I like to go right up to the center, right up like through the center, make a little snip, and then bring in the corners up to the top. My easy way to make a banner. And then these, straighten that out. It's going to tuck in right here. I don't have a lot of contrast with the paper collection I chose, and so you might have a little more contrast with your paper collection. I like this one so far. It's coming together. And then we have our circles, and these are just sprinkled around the embellishment cluster. So we have 2 large, 2 mediums, and 5 small ones. And one will come here. And then this one comes right over here. And then 2 medium-sized ones. One kind of comes down here a little bit. And the other one looks like it comes, well, I guess you could really decide. We can come up here. And then we have our small ones, which they have them sprinkled like this. And then one more right up here, and actually it's hard to see, but it goes something like that. So they're just sprinkled around the layout. I'm just looking to see if I like it. I do like it the way it is right now. And then I'm going to come back in and do some embellishing right in here where the circles are and up here. This one is kind of the lone star. It's kind of just floating up here, and we'll see at the end if we want to keep that there. Let's bring in the embellishments that came with this collection because I think they're going to be perfect. And I kind of grouped them how I kind of want to use them. Let's see now if I have room. My idea is I have a gold piece and a gray piece, and I was going to opposite them. So on this side with the gold paper would get the gray, and then this side will get the gold. So let's see if it's going to be too much gray over here, but I think it's okay because it's actually a different shade. And then I can bring back in my circles and kind of tuck them around the little doily. And then this one is kind of down here, almost touching that photo. So there we go. Kind of give it more of connection over here. This side, let's see. This one's pretty big. I'll have to tuck it for sure, which means I might come back and trim that so that I can save a little bit, but we'll see. There we go. Tucking it under really helps. It doesn't look as ginormous as it did. And then this, I could do something like that. And maybe I'm just tucking, seeing what I like. And there we go. I'm just kind of keeping them clustered together. And then up here, I thought it needs a little more gold. So I'll bring this one in, maybe tuck. Actually, I want to do something like that. I like this one that says Magical Memories. I think that's perfect for this 10-year high school reunion. I think I might bring it up here actually. And so this one's not just by itself out there. I think this page needs a little bit of sparkliness because this page, the right-hand page has those two. And so I want to try and pick something here that this looks like the best choice that we could bring in and bring in that little pop of gold, just layering it and tucking it under. Let's see what else we have. We have a couple of leaves. I thought for sure I was going to use the scroll because of the event, but I'm not seeing where I want to use it now, or the tag. Happy times. Okay, let's try the leaves. The leaves and enjoy the little things. Actually, we'll put this, maybe over here. Oh no, nope. Sparkle, shine, and shimmer. Yeah, I'm not feeling that either. Okay. So our little leaves, I'm thinking I'm going to come up here, one under that black circle, move it for a second. I do want the leaf to show, and then maybe one on top. There we go. I think it's because I used the black circles. I'm not really feeling this tag. How about Happy Times? Happy Times, but my husband looks so serious there. This one's a little bit better. Let's do that one. Happy Times, and I'll run it across the photo. Probably even, oh, you know what I'll do? I'm going to bring the circle up a tad, put the title across that circle. This one is kind of bothering me because it's kind of stuck out there by itself. So I'm going to probably tuck it, and actually I don't think I like it at all. So I'm going to pull that one aside. I do feel like I need something up here though, and I'm not finding it in my embellishments from this collection. I'm gonna have to look for something in my stash, and when I post this layout, come back and see what I decided on, because I'm feeling like I need a little something here. I'm just not sure what, and I'm not feeling anything in here. Yeah, I think maybe something gray. There's just not enough left here, so I'll have to find something else. I'm sure I have something in my stash. So there we go. I think this came together very easy. I'm going to get everything adhered and everything lined up nicely, but you can see what this layout looks like. Super simple. I hope that you guys give this one a try. Thank you guys for joining me today. I had fun. I hope that you really do give this one a try, because you don't even have to get as fussy as I did with those embellishments, and you would have been done a few minutes ago. So anyway, take care everybody, and I hope to see you next week. I'm going to be back. I think we're going to maybe put together the National Scrapbook Day project recipes. So something a little different to get us going into our National Scrapbook Day season. So until then, take care, and I'll see everybody real soon. Bye.